Working with the staff has been good. It's been good to get a different opinion on things and different approach to things that our students maybe don't take into consideration when we think about modules and assessment. It's made me feel like more of a part of the university and more like a part of the module. It's got a piece of us students in it now, which is good, yeah.
I think it's given us a better role within the school because we can have an impact on future students, not just studying ourselves, concentrating on the work and doing the work we have to do for our degrees. It also gives us an opportunity to give feedback to the staff, to help them know how we think the course could be improved, how we think the course could be better for future generations of students. And we've been able to work with the staff in a partnership to work together to create something that's going to be really good and much better for the next line of students studying languages.
I think so, because even me and Andy, it just shows like how many different roles there are to create one, like I said, product. It just shows that we are actually all individually important, because without like us, we wouldn't have been able to do it. Without you and Beatrice, we wouldn't have been able to do it, and same with Andy as well. So yeah, it just shows how much effort actually goes into like making a module.
Working with the staff members has changed my perspective of the university, I think, and has made me feel like there's more of a student voice. Like, I've always felt like there was a student voice, but it's given us more of a direct voice because we can actually share our views and feel like in the future the views that we have shared will contribute to changing a module.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, more appreciative of the tutors and like what they actually have to go through in a module to put it together to actually make it good for the student. Because I think when you're a student just experiencing it, you just sort of think it's just sort of the lectures, then you have an assessment, you have an exam, and actually there's so many components that makes up a module that we don't think goes into it, like learning objectives, assessment, feedback, obviously like the actual content of the module that you have to think about. And I think it gives you a lot more appreciation for the staff in MLANG and the university as a whole, because they actually put in a lot to make these modules really good for their students.
And I think in terms of feedback in general, it's been like really sort of like enlightening in terms of how that works, because it's quite easy for students to be like dissatisfied or to say that they're not happy with modules in the like module evaluations, but it's a very different thing to actually work on improving them and to see how you can improve them in what ways and the kind of scope to improve them that there is. And that it's more difficult than we would imagine. Then us just saying, oh, we're not satisfied with this module is much more difficult to actually change it. Yeah. But being part of that has kind of given you more of a perspective of how that happens, I think.
It's definitely changed my perspective. As I was a student rep as well, you understand the role that you have as a student and with the academic community, but I didn't realise that professors would create the modules. I know it's a really silly thing, but I never realised.
Yes, in terms of changing my role in the academic community, again, going back to what I said previously, I did feel that there was a disconnect maybe between, especially the staff you didn't ever see that I didn't know existed. Like there was Andy and the staff that work in the union for academic reps and that aspect of university that I didn't know existed, and it was great to see how wide the university is and great to see how many people get involved with our education.